Aries, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early December 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aries collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous, fantastic, all that good stuff. See what we got here, my guides. What's going on with us Rams in early December? Sagittarius season. What's happening with the energy? What messages, insights can you take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to look at this first card real quick. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aries in early December. What's happening? What's the vibe? What is the energy swirling all around here? Maybe we could get a little sneak preview of what's happening. There we go. Thank you. Hey, we got our good friend here, Mr. Bookhead. Haven't seen him in quite a while, especially in an Aries reading. And that always gives me like big page energy. And that has to be my favorite card in this whole entire deck, because I think the imagery is kind of amusing. It's all about knowledge, and there's also things around communication tied in here. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the December subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about Mr. Bookhead a little more, our good friend. So as you can see, we have this young individual here. So yeah, page energy, it can be attached to youth, new things, new endeavors, new information. But he has a book for a hat, books for a necklace, books in his arm. So it is all about knowledge. So for a lot of Aries in this time, maybe you're doing some fact finding, searching, looking for insight, looking for information. This is like detective energy when I see it sometimes. But it's a great time to learn new things or apply your mind, your brain into absorbing knowledge. Okay, so whatever it might be, whether it's sciences, spiritual things, you name it. So it's a great time to like really take things in and process it. Now, when it comes to page energy, they are closely linked to sending messages. So whether you're wanting to have a conversation or talk, whether this is a communication coming up, we'll see if that shows up within the reading itself. But whenever we get page energy, to me, that's a good thing. The only downside is that it's not always fully developed. But hey, we like Mr. Bookhead around here, so you could chill there by the crystals for a minute. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say the first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the Aries collective. What's happening for the Rams and guides? And while we get this shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Pretty positive. Now, I was seeing tower-like energy, but it was towards the positive and optimistic. The reading was titled A Shocking Win. And I always say these readings, they could bleed over from week to week. So just know there could be some really good stuff coming in for people with prominent Aries placements, or if you're dealing with an Aries. Because to me, it's like, boom, something out of nowhere where it's like, whoa, all right, that improved really quick, or I wasn't expecting that to happen, but in a very positive way, which was a nice change. But yeah, we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for the Aries collective. What's happening in early December 2024? We're getting towards the end of the year. Let's see what the vibe is. What's going on this week? What messages do you have for us? Okay, 8 of Swords, a little wound tight here with the first one. That's okay, though. Does not ruin the reading at all. It's a bit of a trapped energy. It could be overthinking. And yeah, always remember it could be somebody else. It doesn't have to just be you. The thing I like about that energy in the first position is it's not too grounded. It's not too planted. So to me, it's like, all right, this shall pass. There we go. We have a card that could represent us right there. We have the Knight of Wands. Now, the only thing we need to watch out for is the elemental mixture. And we'll talk about that a little further, but let's get one more out. What do we have here for Aries, please? Thank you. Okay, so we have number signs. We have interesting energy starting to like ground things down on the back end with the 8 of Pentacles. A very, very positive card to me. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I like the elemental mixture for the most part. Like, it is a little wacky here in the front end with the fire-air combination. So we have air, we have fire, we have earth. But the thing that I'm loving here is how it improves as it goes further. It improves as it goes along. So there could be various situations or things that you're dealing with where with time or as it moves further, it gets better and better and better. I like seeing that. It's better than seeing something degrade over time. So whatever it is you might be dealing with, it's like, all right, it's getting better, it's improving, and it's moving in a positive direction. Notice we have the double eights here, and with the elemental mixture, I feel like it's a good thing because, yeah, it's explosive, it's volatile here on the front, but this earth really grounds us down. Especially watch out for signs and synchronicities in this time with the double eights. But let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. Position number one, we're starting with the Eight of Swords. Now, if there is a problem area or a situation that we want to pay attention to as the reading goes forward, it's this Eight of Swords. So we see this individual, they're surrounded by swords, they're blindfolded, hoodwinked. So sure, this could represent unknown things, surprising things, but to me, this is a card of anxiety, stress, nervousness. So whether it's you or somebody else, it's a little bit on edge, but again, it gets better as it moves along. So for a lot of you, if you're going through anything stressful, it's like, okay, your stresses might be alleviated. That's what I'm already feeling here intuitively. This card could represent things like cabin fever, feeling trapped, feeling stuck in a routine. And listen, as an Aries myself, I know we do need a little bit of sense of spontaneity, right? Like, we don't like to feel trapped. We don't like when things are too predictable for the most part. I guess it depends on what your other placements are. And this is one of the cards that do represent it. If it's not stress and anxiety, just watch out for the feeling cornered. That's not a good place to be. You might be dealing with someone that's feeling a little cornered with this card. Now, a positive with the Eight of Swords, and the reason I like it in position number one is that it moves quickly. It's like, okay, something popped up, but it's getting solved. It's not stuck. It's not earthy energy. It's not a four. It's like super fast moving. So I do like this. We just need to watch it here as we move further in the reading, because coming up next to it, we have another very fast moving action based card. We have our good pal, the Knight of Wands, chilling right here. So for us, remember, it's not gender specific. It could just be another fire sign. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. In my simple style of reading, it could just be representing us. When we clarify it, it could be telling us something that's coming towards us. All knights are cards of action. They're cards of movement, especially this Knight of Wands. Like, it's not slowing down for anything. So yeah, when we mix the fire and air here in the front end, sure, it's a little explosive, it's a little volatile, but that doesn't always have to be a bad thing. If there's any sign that could deal with this type of energy, it's Aries, right? Rolling with the punches, going with the flow, making moves when they need to be made. So I feel like this could be a really good thing. Now, the challenge with this Knight of Wands, aside from the communication, yeah, because knights are also messengers, so we still have this talking type of vibe showing up. The Knight of Wands could be extremely unpredictable. It could be a bit of a wild card. Maybe you're dealing with a person where it's like, okay, well, what are you going to do next? Or you don't know what to expect from someone or a situation with this Knight of Wands. Sometimes it could be a person that likes to get a little bit of attention, sure, but we're not fully going to go down that route just yet. Now, moving to the very back end, we have our second eight, and this is what really grounds the energy down, because like I said, yeah, we got this little explosiveness in the front. We got the Eight of Pentacles right here. Beautiful. Now, for some Aries, this could represent work, career, somebody keeping busy, staying busy. This is a huge card of effort. So if you're not going through situations involving work and career, this card could simply just be something that you either know needs to be worked on, or it could be something you want to work on. To me, this card is an output of energy, but the fact that it is earthy, it is grounded, I feel like it calms all this stuff down. So as you can see, it's like, okay, it's looking a little choppy here up front. Yeah, it's a little unexpected type of energy, but boom, it really hits a good stride. Now, aside from work, money, and things of putting in effort, when we get to the challenge of the Eight of Pentacles, sometimes it could represent doing a little too much, putting a little too much energy in, finding that balance. Like, okay, well, when should I try? When should I not? How am I really supposed to handle something? Because everyone knows Aries is an action-oriented sign. We like to do things. We like to keep things moving. So we'll see. Sometimes it could be, if it's not talking about somebody working a little too hard or putting a little too much energy in, it could be workaholic vibes as well, like work, work, work. But I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here and see what we have, my friends. What do we got for Aries? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Eight of Swords. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aries, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, let's get it going here. Eight of Swords. Why is it in the mix? What is this? Thank you. Yeah, all right. So just like last week, someone possibly being very, very on edge, anxious, or nervous. Someone psyching himself out a little bit. So remember last week's reading was a shocking win. Boom, now we have the Tower again, that shocking, unexpected energy. I've been feeling it ever since these two cards came out together. It's good that we have the Tower in reverse here, though. Now, Eight of Swords, Tower in reverse, this could represent somebody that's been through quite a few things where they have experience with things going left real quick, right? I mean, everyone's had certain experiences, but when I see the Eight of Swords, Tower in reverse, it's like someone thinking worst case scenario. So I will say in this time, if you're a little amped up in the mind or if you're a little stressed, find a way to get that energy out, finding a release valve for that. Now, for a portion of you, if you're having dealings with a specific person, whether it's a colleague, family member, a partner of sorts, when I see the Eight of Swords, Tower in reverse, this is someone that's really stressed, really anxious or nervous. And it's like super, super on edge. The good thing I do like, though, is how this energy moves forward. So I would say if there is a warning here for Aries this week, it's about getting too much in the head. We'll see how the action moves forward. Now, the Tower could represent Scorpio energy. When it shows up in reverse, it is more like either something that you don't really have to worry about, something that hasn't fully materialized just yet, or something from the past, right? So maybe there is a little bit of a healing energy here, but I don't think it's anything we need to be super concerned about. Okay, like I said, if you're feeling a little on edge or if there's something that's really stressing you out, I think finding an outlet for the energy so you're not overthinking it is super important. So let's just keep moving. We're not going to get stuck there. I'm going to take my own advice. We're going to keep this energy going. So let's see what that Knight of Wands is about, especially since that could be our card, and maybe we'll get a little advice on the back end. So let's go in on that Knight. Let's see why the Knight's here. Yeah, I don't know why that is so on edge. Thank you. Okay, Strength in reverse. Okay, so here is where there is a little bit of more of a warning showing up here, and it's a little different for us Aries, and we get a reputation, right? Like we do get a reputation for being live wires. Sometimes we get a reputation to act before we think. And when I see all these alignments together, there is a potential for that, for either spontaneous, unexpected, or surprising situations to pop up, or even actions like the way you might react to something could just be very instinctual where you don't get to think it through. So when I see all this energy, I feel like if this stressed, anxious, nervous energy isn't like worked through properly, the universe is going to balance it out one way or another, and there is a potential for you to act a little spontaneous in the coming days and weeks. So yeah, there is a bit of an explosive warning in the energy, because all this up here, it's very volatile, okay? And that doesn't mean things are going to go left completely. Like I've been saying since the beginning, I feel like things are going to improve as it moves along, but strength in reverse, like this is someone that either caves into some sort of temptation, reverts back to old ways, either that or they have issues resisting something. So when I see the Knight of Wands and I see this again, either it's a surprising situation or it's an action where someone's acting in a way that they don't normally do. So again, it could all be stress induced, okay, with the overthinking, whether it's you or somebody else. I do feel like it's a little bit stress induced. And you might be a little more spontaneous than you normally are. Okay, so we're just going to keep moving. And yeah, strength, Leo energy, big fire sign energy right here in the center. But when we combine all this stuff together, it's just like, whoa, all right, where'd that come from? So again, whether it is a situation or an action, let's keep moving. Let's see how the energy grounds down when we get to the back end. So we're going to go in on that Eight of Pentacles. And just point this out, number sign synchronicities, very important in the short term. Eight of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Strength, which is 8. There's another infinity symbol showing up here. So it's like we have 888, 888, all over the place. Let's see what that Pentacles does for us, though. Why is it here? Why is that Eight of Pentacles here? Oh, okay. Better. So we do have the Lovers in the upright underneath this Eight of Pentacles. I love it. So when I see the Lovers, that's a very healing type of energy, aside from obviously personal connections, relationships. For a lot of Aries in this time, either whether this is the help of a friend or the help of somebody that you were very close to, it's like, all right, you can really get assistance through this. Whatever this is, if you're going through a pressurized time, there is somebody either coming in that's really going to assist you, or someone that you already have that maybe you should reach out to. Now, the Lovers is Gemini energy, but notice it has Archangel Raphael on it. So if we're not talking about soul ties, soul connections, personal relationships, when I see the Lovers, to me, it's healing, because Archangel Raphael is in charge, or aligns with the energy of healing. So underneath this Eight of Pentacles, I feel like for a lot of Aries, it's just having proper places to channel your energy and a support system. Okay. Now, listen, I know not everyone in this world is fortunate enough to have a large support system, but even if it's just one individual, whether it's online, like you name it, like having support is super important. A place to channel your energy and possible assistance if you need it. Okay. So don't be afraid to ask for it. Yeah. Also, the Eight of Pentacles with the Lovers in the upright, this is people possibly working on a connection. So if this isn't a person, like there is a potential to smooth things over. So if there's anyone you've been having issues with, or if there's anyone where things have been tense or things just aren't going right, when I see the Eight of Pentacles and the Lovers, it's like, okay, we could possibly work on this. Now remember, there's free will involved, but that's the one thing I like about the energy. It's wild here up front, but it gets better. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow card. Lots of stuff happening this week, Aries. But if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we have the Eight of Swords with the Tower in reverse. So again, very stressed, anxious, on edge type of vibe. So whether it's you or another person, to me, it's very much overthinking, like mind racing type of energy. I do feel like the energy will work itself out and get better and improve. That's the good thing. Moving to the center, we have the Knight of Wands with Strength in reverse. So all this pent up energy for a lot of Aries in this time, whether it's situations that are surprising or unexpected, or even actions that you might take, there could be a temptation for you to act a little more spontaneous than you normally do, act in ways that you don't normally act. So just watch out for that. Okay, there could be certain things that you want to break out of the shell from. Onto the back end, we have the Eight of Pentacles with the Lovers in the upright. So wanting to work on something, having a support system, someone that you could talk to and help work things through, but also knowing where to channel your energy properly. Okay, so please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's get you a shadow card real quick. So let's get a good shuffle here. What do we have in the shadows for Aries? Guys, what's going on? Yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a bad thing. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get it going. One shadow card. Nice and quick. Thank you. 10 Cups, good. So that kind of fits the theme with what I've been seeing. And like I just said, not every shadow card's bad. Now, the 10 of Cups does have some things we need to watch out for when we're looking at its shadow form. But the 10 of Cups is one of the best cards in the whole entire deck. It's like very positive. It could represent a happy ending of some sort. So with the way the energy has progressed in the reading, and this to be in the shadows, it's like, all right, something's probably going to go better than you think. Or maybe you shouldn't stress it so much. I love this 10 of Cups here. Okay. It also is a card of home and family, all that good stuff. But to me, it's cups runneth over. It's even wish fulfillment type of energy. Now, when we talk about the shadow side of the 10 of Cups, it could speak about overindulgence, especially when we have a card like Strength in reverse in the main part of the spread and a 10 of Cups here. Just watch out for either reverting back to old patterns or possibly overindulging in pleasures when this card is here. But aside from that, we're looking good. So Aries, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the December subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar and book one at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the December subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Everyday Witches Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments, what do you want Santa Claus to bring you this year for Christmas? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.